Hello YouTube, this is the Java Programmer, and in the last video we spent a lot of time writing code, and I'm going to do the same in this video. Last time we created this connection between our strategy manager and the signal manager, and we got the strategy manager almost to where we want it, but the signal manager now has to get some love. So let's look at our signal manager. The signal manager can receive two types of events so far. If we look at, I think it's our program, API program, this is definitely wrong. I need to fix that. That would be a bug right there. Sigman equals that's better. So there's our signal manager. Probably should do the same thing here. And this probably shouldn't happen in the API broker client, but this is more generic stuff. But let me think about it. Now, stratman equals new strategy. Let's look at that and see if do we need a client here at all? No. Okay, I think this code can come out. And this code is generic enough. Although we might want to do different types of strategy managers. I don't know. Let's just look at our app for a second here. Yeah, I think it'd probably be better. We'll put it here. So here's our program. Here's our strategy manager. We do some registering. This should go back in the program. Because a program is going to deal with the setup of all this stuff. So we'll have different programs that make use of these different things, but they each can set it up independently. I think that's just a better solution. So the configuration for this program is going to be here. Now we can configure any program however we want, but for this specific Oanda API program, that's what it needs. So, all right, so in our signal manager, we have two types of events that are coming in. So we can say if event instance of rate event, else if event is instance of register signal event, we'll do that. Else, let's just sys out unknown event. So, in the case of a rate, we're going to cast it to a rate and print it. This is the signal manager. But in the case of a register signal event, we are going to want to register signals. So we're going to need to create a private hash map of, I think we're going to want int integer and signal. Signals equals new. It never likes it because these are not imported. So I should have gone here, not there. Okay. So our signals, we're gonna, if we have a register signal event for signal S in, well, first off, we're gonna have to cast this into an event. What's there? Nope. Signal event equals event. So signal event dot get signals, which doesn't exist. So we're gonna have to put a getter and setter in for this here. And they always put it in the wrong spot. I always like them after my constructor, and they always put them before. Okay. So get signals. So we're going to loop through every signal, and we're going to say signals if signals dot contains key s dot get id, which also does not exist. So if it doesn't already contain the ID of the signal, then we're going to say signals dot put s dot get ID and s. So I found a little trick for creating this. So let's go into a signal. So a signal is going to have a private static void ID. When we create a signal, public signal ID plus plus. How about this dot ID? What doesn't it like? Okay. No void. Public static int. I'll get it one of these days. There we go. So every signal will have this ID class, and we're going to have to generate a getters and setters. We're not going to generate a setter because we're already setting it. So we want a getter for this. So every signal is going to have an ID, and that'll be taken care of at the signal layer. So this ID static method, I'm still wrong. Let's see. Nope. This bumps that up, but what we're going to do is we're going to have, that's a private, yeah, this is ID, all caps, and there's no access to that, but we're going to have a private int ID equals 0, well, equals ID. And here we're going to say this dot ID equals signal dot ID. And that's going to return this guy. Private. How about that? There we go. That's better. So every signal is going to get an ID, and we're going to register them. When we get a register, we're going to register all those signals. Now, when we get a price event, I forget what's in our rate event. Our rate event is a data tick. One of the things that we're going to have to do is, if that tick is for that particular pair that signal is watching, we will then have to send it to it. But we're going to have to do that in the next video because I ran out of time. So we're almost done with this class. Stay tuned for more videos, and this was the Java Programmer.